An endorsement from Kim Jongun, really? An endorsement that came with the suit, says the BLF leader Andile Mngxitama. And then later on, a senior EFF member breaks ranks. Where is the VBS money? But then again, where is the evidence that the fighters benefited from the great bank heist? Welcome to the PolitBureau. I'm Aldrin St-Pierre. The BLF is on the ballot paper. No breaking news here, but they could find themselves having to fight off various attempts to get them removed. The four-year-old party launched its election manifesto dubbed the Battle Plan in Soweto yesterday. What got people worked up is the slogan, land or death. Andile Mngxitama joins us now in studio. Good morning. Let's start off there. Andile, land or death. Yes. What does that mean?
No, I mean, it is a slogan of our movement which basically says if you don't have land, you're as good as dead. But also, if you're serious about getting land, you must be prepared for the possibility of dying fighting for land. And we must admit that white people, when they arrived here, colonized us, they actually got themselves involved in a war. White people were prepared to die and kill for land. So if you want a land back, we have to...
Are you saying the same thing? Is that what you
must accept this possibility. Of course, we're giving the process of the constitutional amendment a chance. That's why we participate in these elections. Because political parties in parliament have failed, despite the fact that having the two-thirds required majority and an agreement, a parliamentary agreement that EFF and ANC are going to amend the constitution. They haven't done so because they're not committed. We are sufficiently committed to make sure that this happens. That's why we're going to be in parliament. But over and above that, we are organizing our people outside of parliament to take land, because land was taken without a lot of conversation. Will parliament listen to Black First, Land First? Will they amend the constitution? We hope so.
What happens if because here's the thing about this argument about land or death, is that some people say that it is inciting violence. You speak about what happened with the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck, for instance, and how the land was taken from the indigenous people of South Africa, that there were battle fights, right? Are you then saying that the BLF is willing to go there?
If you're landless, you're an African, as me and you are in this country. I and you, my friend, are tenants in this country of ours. It's in the hands of white people. And by the way, only 35,000 families, white families, own about 80% of the land. They are not going to give us this land. They have not done so in the past 25 years. I know our people on farms, when they die, do you know they are refused burial rights? You are landless alive, landless when you die. And we are saying as Africans, as black people, if you have no place you call home, you are as good as dead. So this slogan really is about you are landless, you are dead. But of course, when you do want land, prepared to be killed or to die for that land. And white people are clear. They're training their children, by the way.
So what do you say to someone who says, as I said earlier on, that this is incitement to violence, that you're inciting people to violence?
Well, we are not saying kill anyone. We're not saying that. Okay. We're not saying that. We're saying our condition as black people is as good as dead.
At which point do you then die? When you say land, death, because I was saying to someone earlier on and yesterday as well, that it doesn't mean that the BLF is saying that I'm willing to take poison to get the land.
When we take land, we know. Let me just say, by the way, there's a young man, Muzia, in Cape Town, a good comrade of the Pan-Africanist Congress, who was killed because he was fighting for land. It's not him alone. Many black people, landless people, are getting killed every day. In fact, go on farms, young black people or young children thrown out of vans, being shot as dogs and so on. They die because they're landless. You are landless, you are good as dead, my friend. So, and if you want land, you must be prepared to die fighting for it. That's all we are saying. We are using all the means necessary and available to us. We are now legally on the ballot. So. We're on the ballot. Yeah. And all these land thieves are scared of Black First, Land First. They're trying to stop us from going to parliament because they know we will make sure that we expose Julius Malema and Ramaphosa on the land question.
But you do agree that the language that you use during some of these rallies are quite important, right? And one of those instances yesterday during the launch, one of the songs that were being sung was "One Settler, One Bullet."
It's a historical song. In fact, a slogan that comes from, again, Black First Land First we are not doing anything new. We are inspired by the Sobukwe, by Biko, we are the historical. We are finishing the unfinished business of the liberation movement, including, accepting RET, radical economic transformation, which come from the ANC and has been abandoned by the leadership, the current leadership. So we are not claiming to be doing anything new. We are finishing the business of liberation in this country. One settler, one bullet is historical slogan, and I'm sure you know that our court, the highest court, has said songs like that are not protected in terms of South African freedom of expression laws and the Constitution itself. We must not be afraid. This is our history, and we practice it all.
Do you then think that the fear that some are expressing on social media are unfounded?
White fears.
But this is from black people as well. Some black.
You are not a settler. But this is
yeah.
If you take that slogan, why would any black person be worried about such a slogan? No, white.
They're not worried that they may be getting the bullet, but they're worried that what may lead to what this bullet may lead to.
Well, one settler, one bullet is a slogan that started by the Pan-Africanist Congress. Some of them are afraid of it now, but we are the authentic carriers of the revolutionary project, which has been undermined. We are not afraid to repeat that. If you are not a settler and you are not in any way implicated in the mass murder of black people, dispossession, oppression of black people, you have no reason to worry. And we are not going to abandon our history because there's white fear.
Who's supposed to worry?
This is the biggest problem in this country, is white fears. White fears become legislation. White people, what have they done to redress the colonial mass murder which happened here, to the apartheid project? Today there's Alexander and there's Santen. Black people are living amongst themselves as subhuman conditions. Then that Alexander is created by Santen. Have white people admitted to colonialism, to apartheid, paid reparations, and now me and you here are talking about their fears? I think it's a mistake. Black First, Land First disregard completely white fears. Completely. But what for black people and their fears?
But what I'm saying is that this is not concerns only raised by white people. As I say on social media, this is concerns being raised by black people as well. That are saying that you are advocating for public violence.
No, that's not true. But black people, the Steve Biko's job was to try to sort our heads, because part of the problem in this country is the internalized inferiority complex and accepting white perspectives as our own perspectives, and this is the biggest problem. Black people imagine themselves as white, by the way. That is why when we ask for redress and radical moves, they feel threatened because they really think that they are part of the white establishment, which is not true. We are here to liberate everybody. We are an anti-racist organization, right? We are a blacks-only organization fighting for anti-racism.
But you don't want white people in your political party.
Of course, because they are part of the problem. You can't...
But you're not advocating for racism, but yet you don't want white people in your...
White people created racism. How can they be also part of the solution? It is a burden now for us black people to solve a problem we should not create, created by Jan van Riebeeck, who arrived here 6 April 1652. We are solving that problem. We are saying we want a country or society which is anti-racist, where race will not determine my place in society.
Let's just quickly look at one of these tweets that came through yesterday during the launch, and then just tell me what you think of some of this reaction that came through from the people at yesterday during the launch of your election manifesto, which is dubbed, of course, the battle plan. Promoting violence, right there, public slogan, promoting violence publicly. The IEC, how can this be acceptable? Has the IEC been in contact with you with regards to this?
No.
Have you received any?
No, but I mean, we can't bot ourselves with a bot. This is a bot. I mean, what is this? I mean, we go on social media. This is AfriForum. Do you know whether it's AfriForum or not? Do you know whether this is AWB or not? Why would you bot ourselves with these racist projects that claim that when we talk the truth, when we speak the truth, you know what is violence in this country? 20,000 black people are dying annually as a consequence of the violence in their townships. That is the violence created by who? White people. Our children today are trapped in Nyaope and other drugs. Why? Because of helplessness, and basically there's no future for them, created by white people. If you want to talk about violence in this country, you must talk about white violence, which is structural. We are in the townships, in squatter camps. We are hungry. Why? Because white people have created a system that basically put us in that condition.
Do you see a South Africa where white people and black people live together?
Absolutely. And there's one condition. Return the land and the wealth you've stolen from black people.
But then you're advocating for another thing where you say that the Constitution must be amended. The Constitution must read that...
It must not be amended. It must be
okay, well, the wording should then be that South Africa belongs to black people.
we need, as Black First Land First, one of our big ideas for these elections and post the election is a new constitution. This constitution is a white constitution. That is why we have to buy our land back from people who stole it. This is what this constitution says. It was written by Rolf Meyer, and Ramaphosa was fishing, and he just signed off things that are bad for us.
Andile, you are saying that there is a place for black and white South Africans to live together. But why should
no, there is no place until there's redress.
Yeah, well, let's say the redress is there, but then what do you do with a constitution that says that, listen, this South Africa that you live in does not belong to you as a white person who may have been born here and may have come through during the time of...
By the way, this idea of South Africa belong to black people is the truth, number one. Number two, there's already a country called Haiti. In 1884, when it liberated itself, its constitution said Haiti belonged to black people, but they accepted white people. I go to China today, China belongs to Chinese. I'll go there and live under conditions that's set up by the Chinese. Why are we afraid as black people in South Africa to make a stand? South Africa belongs to us. It must serve us. Others who come here, they will live under conditions set by the black majority. We must not be afraid. We must be more proud. We must be, I think, more resolute about which country this country belongs to.
I think that a lot of people would disagree with you, but just quickly, Kim Jong-un, really?
Yes, beautiful suit. Inspired
really?
By this man. No, of course, no. We are. What really? This is the only country on earth, small country, which is not part of the West, which the West will not touch.
But did you speak to him?
No, I don't speak to him directly, but I mean, we are highly inspired by his capacity to...
But where did he tell you that he endorses your party?
No, there was no way say endorsement. We simply said there is a suit.
No. Yesterday you said that he...
No, don't try to twist things. We said this, we have a suit that come from him,
yes,
and we're very happy. And we are the ones who are endorsing him. To say, because he stands up against Donald Trump, he's the only man who can do that.
No. You said that he said that to you. He even asked you about Freedom Front Plus.
Of course.
What is the Freedom Front Plus?
Of course, I mean.
When did he say this to you, Andile?
No, I mean, no. Do you think I can come to the Rupert television and tell you how we talk to serious revolutionaries on earth, which we know Donald Trump wants to get rid of? No, we are very happy to...
But so you've never spoken to him?
No. We speak to him. Absolutely.
But just earlier on, you just said...
No, but I'm not... But you see, the point is this. You want me to reveal to you how we communicate with revolutionaries. I'm not going to do that on Rupert television. We support him. He's a great person. And look at this suit. Beautiful.
Well, it's up to you there at home to decide whether indeed there was any contact between Andile Mngxitama as well as the leader of North Korea. When we return, more about the EFF and what happened to the VBS money. Goodbye. See you later.